Hello, Lafayette. In this podcast, I got the opportunity to sit down with President Weiss to discuss the recent string of hate crimes on campus. Within the past year, public safety has responded to more than 11 incidences in which racial slurs and swastikas have been drawn on several bathroom stalls throughout campus, including an incident in which a swastika and racial slurs were drawn into salt residue in an employee's car. The serious nature of these events have led to several campus events in response. In our interview, President Weiss gives his views on the matter and what the campus community can expect from the administration concerning the hate crimes in the future.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for taking the time to talk with us today.
My pleasure.
I just have a few questions about the recent incidents on campus. What actions have you and others in the administration taken to respond to the hate crimes of the past few weeks?
Well, we were deeply disturbed by these crimes, and so we've taken a comprehensive response, and I would break it into two parts. The first part is conducting an investigation to make sure we do everything we can to stop this and find out who's responsible. To do that, we have public safety working in concert with the Easton Police Department, but also with the assistance of the FBI. And the idea is to see what's going on here and what evidence can we amass to determine who's done this. The second set of responses is about our community, and I break it into a few categories. How do we communicate with our community so people know why this is important and what the issue is? How do we get our community together to demonstrate that this isn't something we hold to be trivial? And so to stand up together, and there have been a variety of activities that we're organizing to do that. And the third part of the response is my meeting with lots of individual groups of students, faculty, staff, parents, alumni, to tell them about it, to listen to their thoughts, to engage the community.
In what ways do you believe the campus and the reputation of the college have been affected by the series of hate crimes?
Well, I suspect that in the near term, people are troubled by what it means to our reputation. But I will say that at any given week, campuses like ours struggle with these issues because we're open, intellectually shared governance places. And so things happen. They can be noisy communities. This week, for instance, there were major issues on the campuses at Duke, Swarthmore, Yale, and Lafayette, all of whom are dealing with issues related to the kind we're dealing with. And next week, it'll be some other campuses because we have a lot of different people here behaving in different ways, disagreeing with each other. And so I think in the end, if you don't have these kinds of activities on a campus, not swastikas, that's never good. Racial slurs, never good. But there's always going to be something that people are talking about and engaging in. And I think this particular set of issues is egregious. But I don't think it will have an enduring effect on how people perceive our college.
And how do you think members of our campus community have been responding to these crimes, and what are some of the recommendations you're hearing from students and faculty?
Well, there has been very wide-ranging discussion about what we ought to do about it, ranging from the kind of investigation or punishment we might engage in to how do we get the community to come together so that people can demonstrate their shared values. And lots of good suggestions about campus-wide rallies, changing the orientation program so that there's more multicultural awareness being taught and inculcated in our students right from the start, more training of our faculty to understand the range of ways in which what they do in the classroom models a certain kind of multicultural awareness. So I've heard a lot of good suggestions across the spectrum about things that we might do. The challenge is to take a few of those and do them. And that's what we're working on now.
Are you confident that you can get them to stop?
Well, I'm confident that we can send a powerful signal that if you get caught, you're going to go to jail. These are hate crimes. These aren't trivial actions. And I'm hoping that the kinds of people who are doing this will recognize that there's a difference between the kind of behaviors irresponsible people engage in as a prank and criminal action. And I think, therefore, yes, we'll get them to stop. But we can't control what everyone does. But as a community, we can control how we react. And I think that's what's most important, and that's what I'm most interested in. Because if we can increase the sensitivity on the part of everyone in the community to why these issues matter, then it's less likely that people will engage in those behaviors.
And you said the potential ramifications for these actions could be jail time. Do you intend to prosecute the offenders if they're caught?
Well, there are two parts of any disciplinary process. There is, because they're violating the law, they will be held accountable under the law for their behavior. Much of what has happened on this campus falls under the category of institutional vandalism, which is a hate crime in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And therefore, depending upon the evidence, depending upon the nature of the trial, the punishment could include jail time. I don't know. I'm not a judge, but that is within the realm of possibility. I'm fine with that. I think people should be held accountable for their behavior. Absolutely, especially adults. And these people are adults. Within our own campus, we have more control over what we do. And again, I don't want to prejudge the outcome of a disciplinary procedure because it depends on the evidence. But in the event we find the people who have been engaging in this behavior and the evidence is clear that they've conducted it, I think they should be expelled. But I would yield to the judgment of the committee that is designated to make those recommendations. I don't want to prejudge that. But I would be as harsh as possible with regard to a zero tolerance policy for this sort of behavior.
Thank you very much.